Good morning, happy Saturday, and thanks for spending your Saturday on this. And this is going to we are going to talk about this Teams meeting extensibility. In the welcome note, already Perman has covered a high level what it is, meeting extensibility, what we had in Teams, and what this extensibility brought into the Teams capability, which we are going to discuss in detail. So the agenda, I just split it into two. First, I just want to give a concept what we have in the Teams, what it like a little introduction about Teams and features, those glimpse, and the apps, how we used to build for tab and messaging everything, and then I want to cover what is the meeting extensibility, how we can leverage the existing Teams app, or we can build a new app for the meeting extensibility person, and the roles and user types. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm plan to take a demo session. I just want to cover three steps there. One is I want to discuss about the real-time use cases, what we had and how this team extensibility will meet those a solution. And the next one, the partners who are worked with the meeting extensibility to get this maturity, right? 51 partners been involved in this exercise, and it's October, we have a dev preview with the meeting accessibility capabilities. So in that, I'm planning to pick up the Poly, which is like a polling application. So we will see how that is integrated with the meetings. And the next one is the meeting token generator app. It's like a bot based Azure AD app one. So this is what the three things I plan to cover in the demo. And the last 10 minutes, I'll be parking for questions. I'll go over one by one. Yeah, so first I'll just talk about the meeting extensibility. Meeting extensibility is like a exciting future about it enables the developers to expand. Like for example, if you the meeting, you will schedule a meeting, you will join the meeting and you will attend the meeting, and if there is some decision making, you will talk. It will be like if there is like that sessions, right? It's like one person talks and everybody will be hearing it. And you will be it will be board, it will be like a board, and there won't be any activities, right? So that was the current meeting experiences. We don't know how many people are actively listening it, participating it, and until unless you ask some questions, we won't be knowing it whether they are and of course the digital things, it will deviate their concentration as well, right? So that's how the meeting happening now. This extensibility, again, that it enables the developer to have a interactive way. For example, you can create a question or survey or something in between. You can ask for a voting. You can make participants very active in the during the meeting. So this can be either a pre or during the meeting you can do something, and post the meeting we can get the survey or the meeting notes, or if you have anything, any activity based on the meeting you want to take, then we can involve flow or something and make a workflow, and we can make that happen, and MOM we can sort over there. Actions, next step of actions also we can keep it in the post meeting things. So this three stages we integration placeholder we have with the meetings. So before getting into that, so first we need to know a minimal to start the meeting extensibility development. We should know what is the team apps, because it's built on top of a team apps. So we know a team is for the for purpose chatting. Earlier in the industry we had a different chatting application. For the meeting we had a Cisco apps and Skype. And for call we were having a Cisco desktop phones and something, and collaboration, of course we had a SharePoint and everything. So this teams almost this are all four features, right? It brought together, and we are having a unified platform to interact with each other. Yeah, just like overall view on the Teams feature, because before getting into that extensibility thing. So Teams, we have a video conferencing and sharing screen. Everybody will be knowing about this custom backgrounds and together mode, and we have a file sharing options, and we can build our apps and workflows on it, and it is available in 53 languages in 181 market across the world, all operating systems, and it supports all the organization needs and industry leading compliance. So these are all the team features we have right now. Okay, next one is on the Teams app. A Teams app, we have a built-in market availability apps actually. If you go and see, you will have many apps, and on top But we are going to see is like customizing and extending the existing apps based on our business requirement, how we can customize the apps or how we can integrate the external application into our teams. So that's the core thing we are going into it. So customization, again, it's like we have a the teams platform. If you see, there are like a many ready-made solutions which we saw here. Again, we have like a many ready-made solutions, and next to that it offers like power platform like power apps and power automate. And with PVA, with a low code or no code, we can integrate a PVA, power virtual agent, or power apps flow everything into our teams. It supports that. And on top of it, like again, we have a space to build our own applications. Like you can for example, like you can, if you have some static informations across organizations, or you want to bring some channel based dashboards, we can build our own custom application and bring it as a tab into our teams. So this is three solutions. And the teams apps, like a we can build like a four different ways, right? It's like a teams app, the combinations of like the capabilities, the what are the capability we are building and where we are building it. So this is the four different things. One is like a tab. If you want to bring some custom feature as a tab, so we will be like, for example, a web page kind of announcement board, dashboard, or something you want to build for your management or for enterprise. We will be building the team app as a tab one. And the messaging extensions, like if you want to like interact and share some conversation chats or something, especially the bot one, or like incident management, you want to integrate it, then the messaging based extensions we will be using it. And the bot, especially like if you have a FAQ scenarios, or like using the bot, like you wanted to like place a request, like a governance thing, to you want to create a channels or teams or something, that governance part we can build as part of parts, FAQ and everything. In webhooks, again, to connect the external and teams connectivity. So not covering in detail, I'm just like giving you overall glimpse on it. So this is the like a backend and the interface what we have in the Teams app. So the backend we can leverage like a Azure apps. You can build Azure apps, AAD apps, as well as the Microsoft Graph, O365 Microsoft Graphs. All the things you can like leverage into your Teams. And SharePoint, you can have a like even a SharePoint SPFX widget. You can deploy the widget into SharePoint, and you can leverage that into your Teams as well. Or SharePoint like a can't source, you can access it from here. For example, the one scenario is like we build a FAQ, we created one channel in Teams, and the channel have a FAQ stored in the SharePoint. So through the like a Power Virtual Agent or the bot framework, we build a bot where the channel like a team questions and answers, it will go and get it from the SharePoint using the Power Platform. Again, the Power Apps flow, and actually you can use connectors and webhooks as well. And the interface, if you see the tabs, we already saw it. Tab, either it will be a tab or a bot or a messaging extensions or a notification engine for the external thing. So this four will be like a interfacing point for us. So this is like a bit background on the Teams. So if we know the Teams apps development, it's very easy for us to like develop the code in Teams meeting extensibility. So what is like Teams apps extensibility? So we know like the meetings are like very productive, right? That too in this remote work time, the COVID time, like Teams has picked up heavily, and all the meetings are happening through Teams. So that is like a, so mainly like to enable like we are collaborating and communication, and we are sharing the feedback and everything happening through the team. So here like the team app, whatever we build it as per the teams, right? The same app, like either we can create that as a tab to our meeting, or we can like we can bring that bot into our application. So either like a tab or like a side panel, the side panel wherever we are having the participate and chat, right? We can bring some applications to that thing, or like as a notification on top of our meeting, right? We can bring some notification on top of it. We can ask question and answer like that. So these three modes it has. And like all the like a business third party marketplace applications also as part of the tab gallery, like we can access those things. The team like a main three concepts, right? One is like the team meeting life cycle. Meeting life cycle, nothing but before meeting, like before meeting starts, what are all the things you want to do, and during meeting, if you want to build some application, there's a during. One after meeting is like once the meeting is over, whatever you wanted to capture as part of the meeting. So these three are like a meeting life cycle. So how to configure our application to interact in these three stages, right? We are going to see in detail like where we can like involve our application in these three stages. And the next one is like the apps, right? That meeting extensibility app. Mainly, again, it plays with the participant roles. So not like a meeting organizer and presenter and three attendees. So we have a three different participants. Meeting organizer, he can able to create a, for example, like if you want to have a poll or something. So meeting organizer can create or integrate the app, whatever we are building it, right? So he will have a permission to create it. When as soon as the meeting starts, or before or during the time, so he will have a create options where he will be creating it. So presenter, we know like we will be sharing the screen, and the presenter also can create a like integrate the app whatever we are building it for the meeting. So attendees, they will be like they participating on it, but they won't have any permission to involve in the poll or something on the creation part. And we know like the user type, right? So, the users are from our tenant, they can be a guest and federator and anonymous team user. So this one we are going to see a metrics like who can do what in the meeting and later. So this is actually similar one which we saw for the teams. Teams, we had the backend and interface thing. So the surfacing, right? Whatever we have it in the tabs or bot, or whatever we built for tabs or bots and cards, right? We can leverage that for the teams by making a manifest changes. So just we need to like make a manifest change, and that application is whatever will built for the teams, right? It needs to be for the group chats. If you are like having building that application for a group chats, because if you build one personal chat, right, we won't be able to leverage for our meetings. So it needs to be the group chat scoped one, then we can leverage all these applications into our meetings as well. So that's the same, that's the picture. The earlier one, and the difference is like we can use it for teams also, whatever you build it earlier for teams. Okay. Next, coming into the extensibility, right? Main thing is like attaching the required module into a meeting lifecycle. So whatever the module app you are going to build it, right? So we need to design like where we wanted to put into it. Preparation mode, or during the meeting you wanted to get some information, poll or survey, or like end of the thing. So that's the meeting lifecycle, pre, during, and the post meeting. So those three things. And the meeting awareness, that's important concept is like the empowering like a app. It has like a very good rich experience, and it has like a teams, they have a, like design guidelines, the GitHub and docs, Microsoft Docs has the like a link which I'll be sharing it at. So if you are like planning the extensibility app for the side panel, so what is the best design you need to follow, or if it is like a notification in meeting kind of pop-up thing, so what are the best design guidelines you can do with the framework, fluid framework they have came up with. So that's like it immediately it gets your like awareness into what the meeting surface. That's what like we said, the side panel and the content notification and the tab. So these three places we will be having our applications. Either it will be in our tab, or it can be in a side panel or a notification window, content notification. Those three surfaces the meeting app will place. So we are going to see that in the snapshot and in the demo as well. We'll be very clear on it. And the next one is like to get this meeting extensibility framework mature, right? So these are all the 51 partners, they worked on this feature close together, and they released the product on top of it. So analytics, you can see customer service, ServiceNow, like ServiceNow was like an incident management applications where everybody is using it, and DevOps, education, human resource, and polling. The Poly one, which we are going to see now, how the Poly product has came up, the product being integrated in the meeting extensibility, and the project management, sales, all this area, like the 51 vendors they worked with Microsoft, and then they bought the product and integrate with meeting extensibility. So all these are in dev preview. So I'll like show you like how we can get this in a dev preview. This already this we covered it, the meeting life cycle one. Again, the before, during, and after. So before, it looks like the meeting schedule. When you schedule a meeting, you will have a tab kind of interface where you can see whatever you created once, or like attached documents, or what are the applications thing. During, it can be in a side panel or here in the top actually. The post, similar like our chat window or a tab, you will see whatever been happened in the meeting. So this is very important like life cycle. You keep repeating it because this is the major one, like the life cycle where we'll be integrating our applications into it. Okay. The next one, like, how can I enable that app, whatever the app we build it, right, for Teams meeting? So main thing is like you need to update our manifest. That's the main change we have to do it. You know, like a team app design will understand only the manifest file. Like earlier also she covered it. Like whatever the application we are building it, either it will be hosted in our Azure or a local, or it will be in a SharePoint or anywhere. But Teams understands only the app manifest file, whatever we are uploading with. So mainly like we need to update this. This is the main area which we'll be working for the meeting extensibility. So we need to specify the scope either as a team or group chat. And the context we know like all four contexts, right? Channel, private chat tab, meeting chat tab, and meeting details tab, and meeting side panel. So here, meeting details tab and these are like all the contacts, available contacts. It's there in the screenshot. But the channel tab and the meeting chat tab, meeting details tab, and meeting side panel is applicable for our team meetings. So that's the same description we have given. Channel tab we know it will be up. It appears on top of the channel. You will have a tab kind of thing. Private chat, you know, like it's a one-on-one or a group. If you're like secured communication, chatting with a secured set of people, then that it appears in that chat tab. Meeting chat tab, it's going to be, which we are going to see, that will be in a meeting itself. You will have a tab actually. Whatever the scheduled meeting, you will have extra tab, which is for your application. Details, you know, like pre and post will have a details page, either a chat window, which will have the applications, what else have been happened. So all those things you can see. Meeting side panel, it's like our conversation window where that will render, the Teams meeting app will render into it. This is the pre-meeting experience. As soon as you schedule a meeting, here the pager duty is the application. They just added here in the screenshot. So you're seeing the pager duty in the tab as well as part of the detail page. This is how it will look. Either we can call it as a tab or detail page. And the next one, during the meeting experience, if you have your app, the side panel, this is like a side panel look and feel. You will have the pager duty applications in the side panel you can see. So that you will have like a participants as well as the apps, whatever you have it, right, in this panel. So meanwhile, while you are talking it, right, for example, if you want to have an agenda or points to be covered, the important point to discuss, you want to take some opinions, right, we can have side by side. Or if there is any management team involved, you wanted to show some management reports and talk about it, that will be like very useful. Otherwise, what we will be doing it like sharing our screen, multiple presentations or documents or applications, we will share our screen. This is like an easier way to bring that app as part of a meeting itself. And the next one, like once the meeting is over, what are the applications we built, right? It will be like in the chat window. You can see in the chat window as well as you can click on the application tab, the tab whatever we built, application tab, and we can get those details. The meeting extensibility before, and then like before already we saw, like while you are creating the, how to like create a before app, right? For example, like if you are leveraging the existing one, for example the Pali one, which I'm going to show it, right? So we need to go ahead and add the plus symbol, right? You need to click on the plus symbol and add the app into it. So you are scheduling a meeting, you add, everything is ready, you have like given all the details, and you want to integrate the application. This is the first step. That before step is like you need to click on the plus and you have to add the applications whatever you wanted to bring as part of the meeting. So that meeting again based on your app manifest configurations, right? Where you wanted to bring in meeting or pre or post, again depends upon your configurations. It will play. So here this is the place where you need to add it if you want to start before the meeting. If we are building a custom applications, right, then we need to like upload, and we need to keep ready before, like we need to upload our app, and that should be in our gallery already. The main thing to ensure some meeting extensibility before, right? So the scope, we need to keep it as a group chat. If it needs to be a group chat, then only like we can get that into our meeting extensibility. Because like if you are having a one-to-one or personal tab, it will not be exposed to all the participants, right? So they will not have any access to it. So it needs to be a group chat, and the context has to be the meeting chat tab if we are like planning as a chat tab. And if you want in all the three places, we can keep it like a detail tab. The next screen right here, you can keep all three configurations. Either it can be a detail tab, side panel, or chat tab. So all the three options you can give if we need it. So based on this configuration, the application will have a role in it. And the during the meeting, you want to create something or as a in meeting or side panel, right? That is the cycle we are calling it as like a meeting extensibility during. So during the meeting, that meeting organizer will have a permission to create a poll. So we can see the third party. I'll just create a poll. So organizer can create a poll and he can put into a dashboard. People can start responding to it. That's they are calling as a during. For the during one, like again a group chat, a side panel, right? Either it can be in a side panel or a chat tab. So this is like a in meeting experience. That experience it can be in a side panel or here. And one major thing is like based on the role, right? Application is like based on the role, it will play like it will play the things. Like if you want to give some other, for example, like you have a 3 4 roles, you want to play the application based on the roles, they will, it's a custom applications, right? So they will get based on that permission all those informations. For example, if a VP or something is he joined, he will get a different kind of a dashboards. He won't be like seeing the entire minor whatever the micro updates or something. He will see only the high level panel into it. So based on the roles, we can expose the UI here. Again, it's our custom applications. So the API we have, role-based API, based on that we can write our business logic. And again, this is like we can integrate with outside like a BOT SDK, Teams client SDK, and even other systems, right? So we can integrate our team applications with other APIs. So BOT one we are going to show in, like we are going to discuss in the demo. So how like we can leverage the BOT channel, whatever we registered in the Azure, we can leverage that in the team meetings. So after once your team's over, like you can see the applications, like whatever been happened during the meeting, right? You can see it in the tab or in the detail page. So what happened in the meeting. So you can anytime like you can get all dashboard of the things whatever happened over there. And the next important thing is like after the meeting, that's the main concept of meeting life cycle, right? The next one is like a participant role and user type. Participant role again based on the participant role, like we will be deciding or activating the features, right? So either three kind of what we know already. Like I just wanted to like give a high level on it. So organizer and presenter and attendees. So organizer, he is the one who is scheduling and doing everything. Right? So he will have a complete access to create it and he should have a team license. So organizer and even the presenter, if you wanted to modify or something, he should have a team license. And attendee, he can be a guest. He can be a guest because he is just going to like attend the meeting and he going to share the, he will not be like doing any admin activities in it. And the user type, we know like in tenant and the guest, federated external federated users are anonymous. So all four different kind of users can join in our Teams meeting. So we need to consider this during our application development. Like based on that, we need to write our program. And the main thing is like the participant roles and user types and the things, right? So if an organizer, they are like a type is like an in-tenant. Organizer has to be an in-tenant. Presenter also can be in-tenant. Attendee, yeah, attendee also can be in-tenant. It's like a features like what they can do, but in-tenant, guest, and anonymous. If you see like organizer can do add and remove or install the applications, whatever we are building it for the team. Presenter also can do it, but attendee he won't be able to do it. And the same thing, guest and anonymous user, they won't be able to do it. And to get the participant role, right, whomever like we invited in the meeting, the API been exposed. So this is like a participant role. We can get the role been assigned to the person. So whatever the organizer, he'll be assigning the role to the person. So we can get the role based on this API. Yes, we can like. So like to develop any meeting extensibility application, like custom application, we should be knowing these three like a meeting ID. We need a meeting ID. For which meeting ID we are integrating this and the participant IDs and tenant ID. So these are all like important things during our development. Okay. The next one this is like a theoretically I covered. Next one is like a use cases. where like the team's extensibility have a like a real impact on it. So before getting into this vendor part, I just wanted to like through the real time scenario which we have faced in our development. The first one is like when first scenario when that employees are getting onboarded, right? Employees are getting onboarded. So like that organizations wanted to collect their feedback to collect the feedback. For this scenario, like you're using the Teams, and we build like a QR code kind of applications where like if they scan the QR code, we will give all the questions and asked questions and options to them. So they will like we will one person organizer will be the sharing the screen, and like all the attendees and participants like will be responding to that polls, then everybody will be seeing in the screen share. This is like a without a meeting extensibility, the scenario was like Teams. You will have a custom application been built, and that will be like shown in your screen share. Like that's how it's been done. The same scenario, just by adding a polls application or a Microsoft Forms or something, easily like we can do it type together and more. Those results will be added to your meeting itself. So whenever you can go and you can refer the results, so it will the responses will be there with your meetings. This is like one of the best scenario where this meeting extensibility is like can replace better. And this is the product which we I'm coming back to the project things, right? So these are all the different areas where partners being worked with meeting extensibility, and they they built the product. So we are going to see the different products, and I'm going to detail. I'm going to discuss Poly one in this session actually, so we can see that how Poly polls thing works here. So all different areas and where different partners like vendors been worked and release the products actually. So let me show the Poly snaps. Then I like switch my mission to show the demo. This is the Poly applications. Poly is like a polling applications. So you can create multiple polls before the meeting starts. This is how the so there it's been like three polls been created and added to your meeting. You're seeing like three different cards, right? There's like a three different polls being created. So the manifest context, it will be like a meeting chat tab because it's a pre one. Before meeting starts, like you will have this. And even after, you will have the responses of this. And the next one, the meeting side panel, during the meeting, the organizer can create a quick poll actually. So if you see the quick create button, right? Clicking that, he can create a poll based on the conversation, how it goes. He can create a random polls here. This is like a during the meeting experience, the Poly application. And during the meeting, like there will be a different experience, right? If admin, this is like a admin will have a quick create option, and he will see if he didn't submit, he will see the options. If he submitted, he will see the results. So it's like a different experience seeing the Poly application. And here the participant role, because based on the role, you are seeing the button here, like create and post and everything. And this is like a in meeting or conversation API. You can bring it like as a content conversation top of it. This is the second experience. And based on like a again based on like a participant role, right? You can see the dashboard here as well as you will get a Q&A also. This is the thing which I was talking about. Like if you are a different role, you can get a different dashboards actually. So based on the role, we can define this dashboard, and everybody else will get the questions and they can opt the answers here. Let me switch my mission and I'll show the demo on the Pali one. Let me create a new calendar invite. You can add like all the participants into it. Yeah, before like starting this, like the team's developer preview, right? So we need to click on a profile, and we have to like select about, click on the about, and there will be an option like a developer preview. If this option is not available, then we won't be able to get the meeting extensibility related components actually. For example, if this is not enabled in your teams, that means like in the tenant, we need to like go to like we need to connect tenant admin, or if you're an admin, you have to check the teams settings actually. Yeah, let me show that first. Go to your admin center in the teams. So like two things. One is like a Teams app. Ensure that we have a custom applications, like uploading the custom application option is enabled. Go to the permission policies and just check like in organization level you are able to like upload the custom apps. This is just to enable anonymous one. If there is no policy, you can if it is not enabled, you can go to a setup policy and you can edit this, and you can make like upload the custom apps. Yes, if you are making this option as yes, then the developer preview will be available to in your tenant. You can get into your teams, and you will have the option after that, the about and the developer preview. So to get this like products and this feature, right? So we have it's in a developer preview. So just you need to switch your node into a developer preview. Okay, I'm just saving this meeting. Sure, okay. Even this three dot, like we will get all the products. Just give me a second. Let me share my entire screen. Give me a second, that connection got. Yeah, I'll pick it up in the next thing. I'll cover it up with the last session actually. And the reference documentations, like you will have it here, like technical documents and that sample app. The sample app, the one which we are going to discuss in detail. And during that time, the poly also I'll cover. Okay. This is a sample applications like it's in the GitHub actually, the meeting token generator app. So this is basically like a build in the bot app. So there is like Azure AD app bot channel being registered, and the meeting extensibility is like leveraging that. So actually, this is like this helps in the like a project management thing. If you have a real Scrum happening, and you wanted to like you are bringing some stories into a Scrum, and some you wanted a weightage for the stories, right? So in the real like if in meeting like in your in the same room or something, you will have a like a token card, and based on 1, 2, 3 like that, based on the number like the Scrum Master will call us, and you will give a like weightage to the stories, right? This is what happening in your in-room meetings actually. The same thing, it's been like with meeting extensibility, it's been like simulated like, so participants whomever been logged in, they will get a token, and the scrum organizer, right, he is the scrum master actually. So the participants tokens from the order, like he will like call the order, and he will get the weightage for the story, and he can skip, or he can, it can automatically, it can continue the next to each other. So that is the app, it's been built for a Teams extensibility here. You can refer this detailed documentation in the GitHub one. So I'll explain this in detail here. So how it's been built, how it's been integrated with meeting extensibility and everything. I'll go by step here, like how that bot application being registered in Azure AD, and how we can enable the SSO, and what are the different steps we need to do to add that manifest into our Teams meeting, and how the client application we can build, and the token generator is a service, it's a .NET application which will be running in local, which will give you the token, and the bot framework will use that. And how to enable the developer preview, and how we can do as a silo app in Teams. Actually, this is the Poly app which I was trying to add in the calendar. So once it's been added, right, the earlier one, once it's been added, you will get the poll questions and answers. So the organizer can create a Q&A. As well as he creates, like you will get it in the chat tab as well, the question and answer. and you can submit the result as soon as you will get the result as well. This is the same thing I was trying to add into the calendar. So this is like a post meeting experience. Whatever I'm showing it here is the Pali post meeting experience one. Okay, the next one I'll go to the custom applications, the Bart one, which is there in like our even Microsoft Docs as that in detail. That's the one. So the first step. The first step is like go ahead and create a Azure resource for us because we are going to create one app service as well as a bot channel. So just create a Azure resource for us and then try to add a register bot channel. So here it's like for the demo I had like a bot Teams authentication is a bot channel. And meanwhile, this has to be like enabled. It has to be registered with our app registration. So once this has been bot channel been created, go to Azure Active Directory. Register the bot applications, whatever we created as part of the resources. There's a bot Teams authentication. Get the application ID, which is the thing we need it actually. So we need like a mainly like we need our endpoint and application ID and our tenant ID and the client secret and the redirect URI like to get the tokens actually. So this information we need for our Teams manifest file. So get the application ID here and go to the clients and secrets and copy we need to create a secret actually. So during the first time you need to create a secret. So add a new name and however like the policy, organization policy, set the number of years and get the new secret. And copy that. So this will be used in our app manifest. So once this has been registered, the application is registered here, get this app ID and the secret code, update that in our bot channel. The next step, like once we get that app ID and secret, then we need to select our channel in that bot channel as a Microsoft Teams because we are going to integrate this for like a Teams, right? So we need to select the channel as Microsoft Teams and save it one. So our bot channel is ready for the integration here. And this is the like app service like which we are creating it for it. This the app will be like a local app which will be running and it will be generating a token and random token and giving to us. It's a .NET application. It's a .NET application which we can see that. So once like everything is ready, right? So the project is like you can export the project. The first thing like open that in we should be having like a Node as well as like Visual Studio framework. Open the project in the Node and just update the manifest file here with the ID. The application ID. And the app settings main, like this is the main one actually. So we need to provide our application ID and the client secret here and the tenant ID. So which we captured from our Azure portal, right? So all those informations like we need to add into our app manifest file. Manifest JSON we can edit later as well. So once this is done, like we can run this project. And then meanwhile, this is ready for like a you're running it for the node and you're keeping that app folder ready. Nothing but you're compiling the app folder of it. So app folder will be ready for us. The dist files will be created to export for the teams. And next step is like the token generator. This application has everything. So you just clone this application actually. So rest everything is like a local service. So open this into our Visual Studio and make you run that application so that it will run local. It will be running local. So that the token service will be running in your local. So you will be invoking this token service as part your part, and you will get a token into your application. This already is running here. So it's ready. The service is like up and running and we can utilize it. So when this is done, like go to the folder here. As we know, like Teams only knows that manifest file, right? Get to a like resources, manifest. Open this manifest and edit this based on the Teams things, right? So we need to provide our BART package name and ID and everything. And then configurations, like we need configuration tab. This is the one which says like where it's been like configured in the meeting extensibility, right? So Teams or group chats. So you can say it's a group chat. Yeah, group chat, and then it is like context is for like a meeting detail page and for the side panel. This is where like you are specifying the scope as well as the context of that application. So once this is ready and you have saved it, zip those three files where we can upload as part of our custom application. So your manifest is ready to upload into your Teams now. So now you will have a, like our custom options here. You can upload your custom app here. And the simulation is like for the demo I just simulated here. If you see here, right, this is the same the BART window which we are planning to bring on top of the meeting, because I won't be able to join the meeting. Last time I did and I lost the poly things actually. So when you join the new meeting, the same feature it will be open in your side panel. So I'm just like repeating this steps whatever we did it here. The first step, like we went and we created a new resource and we added a bot channel there in Azure AD portal. Then that we registered that application as a SSO using the app registration. So the bot channel was ready, and SSO app registration also, the app ID and client secret we took and we updated that with the bot channel. So it was ready. Then that app settings.json, we opened that code in Visual Studio Code here, and we updated the app ID and app password and tenant ID and everything. This is the redirection URL which we have given in the app registration actually. I missed to show that step. So we need to provide our domain name here, that redirect URL to get the token. This is sample domain which I have used it. And the next step is like the manifest. That's important. I missed to tell that like we have to keep the manifest version to dev preview, because this is feature is available in the developer preview. We have to like mention as a dev preview. Then the bot configuration details we gave. And the application info, this is the important one, that Microsoft App ID and the resource actually, web domain name and the app ID, we have to mention it here. This is the ID, our app ID, and the resources like what are the domain endpoint we created. So the bot one we need to expose as a API. That is the expose API endpoint it is. This is a domain and this app ID here. So this is how like we are adding our entry into a manifest.json so the team understands like the application information, and then like a client application to make that app folder ready. We are doing using the npm install, and we are building the application. So the app folder and disk files are ready. And then the fourth step is like the token generated is a Visual Studio solution which we ran locally. So it will be keep running it so that bot application will connect with that. And to we need to, and then the sideload the app teams, it should be like sideload should be enabled, and this three files we have to like zip it and we have to upload into our custom app. And the detailed steps like you can go over the documentation step by step and you can implement it. It's being very detailed in that documentation. I'm just trying to add the poly one, like it's missed. Yeah. Any other questions actually? Like done with it. I'll try to add the poly again because the poly one, poly in chat, it was like a missed because I just selected that join thing. So to meeting it got collapsed actually. But the post one which I shown you here, like how it appears. The post one will appear like this. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm done with the demo. Do you have any questions in this?
Yeah, please unmute yourself and you can ask the questions here.
Actually, while you're showing no, this manifest file, I saw something called context bubble URL. What exactly is that?
Which one? Just 1 second.
Yeah, if you go there.
That's my web URL actually, my endpoint.
Okay.
That's my endpoint actually. Yeah. This is what like I'm calling it. So that's like my domain and redirection URI where I'll be getting the token like logged in users to token actually. And it's like SSO
I
enabled
have one
automatically.
question.
Yeah.
Like you have registered this app ID and app secret, right? Like
Yeah.
while registering that, like what permission you gave for the application, Teams
It's a
application?
dedicated,
Does it
dedicated
work
one.
with the
Yeah.
delegate?
Yeah, delegate one. I'll show you that. Maybe I can create one more.
Okay.
I'm just enabling for multi-tenant. I just used Outlook and Graph API.
Okay.
Exchange. I gave a delegate because like we need like user context into it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A delegate. The same thing I have done for that application. We will have a delegate permission for this. And other step is like we need to
Oh,
expose this as a API. So this is the API URI. So we will be using it there, right? The API slash, which we are using it in the manifest. Application. So this is the resource and we are getting the token. So that's the URL. So we are exposing that as a API as well.
okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Maybe I try to show Pali again. Okay, please go ahead with your questions. Meanwhile, I'm trying to show how to add the Poly tab here, which I lost while connecting it. I'll try to show like in-meeting experience if it works. Yeah, I'm switching that into the, sorry, I unchecked the developer preview. That is the reason I was not getting the Poly. So yeah, this is the plus one. Sorry for the interruption actually. So I changed the option, it was not coming up. So here you will be adding the custom applications or like the third party one. In this case, like we added Poly here. So as I'm like participant, I have access to create a new survey. So you can go ahead and create a new survey here. So you can add multiple choices, similar like a survey application creation. The result you can say like immediately you wanted or after once the poll's been done or private, you can make it. And even the responses you can say it can be anonymous or you want to capture the user information. So once you get into this meeting, right, you will get all this in the side panel. So you can see that. This is the new tab added, that Poly tab. So you can click on the plus and you can add a new applications, whatever you wanted. So this is like all marketplace applications, or even our custom built applications also will be as part of this. If you build and deploy
Maithili,
as a
Maithili, I'm not able to see your screen actually. Yeah.
No, it's visible. It's visible at least to me.
It's visible.
For me also, it's not visible.
Yeah, I'm not able to see it.
We can
And Maithili, just a quick check. You have 4 more minutes left.
No, this I want to show the missing piece, Vignesh. I'm done actually. This was not working earlier, so I just want to show that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to stop sharing and share again. We are not able to see it.
Okay, let me do that again.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah.
Let me share again. Now you're able to see, no?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the tab. It's been added like Poly. Sorry, like a new tab. If you want to add a new applications, you need to click the plus, and you can add applications whatever we wanted to integrate to the meeting, right? So you can select and add those into it. Here we added this poll application, so that participant we can create our own poll. I have access, so I can go ahead and create a new poll, and I can add that into part of this meeting. So once this meeting started, you will see that in the side panel.